Hey, everybody, and welcome to Game Rambling, episode 48. I am Cyrus,
I'm Picky O Gamer.
and we're here to talk about video games once again. And there's a lot to get to. We're going to cover our thoughts about the upcoming E3 show, the big gaming show that happens every summer. This one sounds like it's going to be as big as some of the other ones. Maybe bigger, maybe not. We'll see. We got a lot of thoughts on that. But we also got some news topics that we're going to go through, and we're going to discuss some things have happened in the past few days, and we just felt like it was a good opportunity to discuss some of that. So, guys, welcome to the chat room. As always, if you notice any technical problems or audio issues or anything like that, please let us know. We really appreciate your feedback. And feel free to contribute to the show because we will absolutely include you in this conversation. Okay, so first off, let's talk about some news stuff. There's been a lot of speculation about what we're going to see with the Xbox Scorpio. And there had been some contradictory statements made by Microsoft from Phil Spencer and from Mike Ibarra. Is that what his name is?
That's how you kind of pronounce it. I can't. And use your last name. I don't know how to pronounce it right.
Okay.
But yeah, talk about frames per second. You know, the great frames. Everything's the frames. What have you heard?
Yeah, so initially the statement was that Scorpio and Xbox One, including Xbox One S, the games were going to maintain frames per second parity for everything, for all of
At least
this.
multiplayer. Well, multiplayer.
Right. And now we're hearing that may not be the case. There was a statement made. Do you have that? Do you? I don't have it in front of me. I don't know exactly.
Well, I was going to paraphrase and said pretty much what was said is no, they're going to leave it up to a developer if they want to keep parity. And let's explain parity real quick. And I'm going to personally call out Bungie as bullshit because they just made a statement earlier this week, or actually over the weekend, that Destiny 2 can't run 60 FPS on the PS4 Pro, and they're full of shit.
Yeah.
It can if they tweak it. The reason why is Sony put out there when we talked about the Neo, what was that, like August or September last year? And all those documents leaked. Sony put in stone. Multiplayer game must be the same frames per second on the PS4 to PS4 Pro. If somebody has 60 FPS and 30 FPS, that person with 60 FPS is going to have an advantage in aiming, everything, reaction time. And that's why Sony did that. So Microsoft, or at least what we're being told now, they're going to leave it up to the developer. Well, most developers are going to not do that because they're idiots if they do. But I
Yeah.
don't.
Do you think this is more a statement of like, hey, we don't want to tell you anything for sure yet? Do you think that's
Now,
kind of what it is? Like build interest and not reveal anything yet, and kind of because the Destiny 2 press conference that happened this past week, they were basically, I mean, I guess they're probably under some kind of restrictions about what they can even say about Scorpio, but there definitely seemed to be a complete shutdown of information. Like, we're not talking about anything about Scorpio.
it's so close. I mean, we got the dev kits out there. We got that nice little screen on the front of it, or LED display. Everybody's digging into it. I think Scorpio is under a shroud, just like the NX was or the Switch was, and then they're going to reveal everything at E3, and then we're going to figure out what's what, the price, laugh at them, or whatever else. I don't know. I'm probably going to be shaking my head at them, going, "Okay, that's badass," but no, I won't be about it. I'll tell everybody, I recently hooked up my PC to my TV. I sit on the couch and play, so I don't need these consoles. When I get my 1060 GTX card later on, which I can get now, I just kind of pushing it off. I play at 1080p. I
Yeah.
don't care for 4K. I'll have more than enough power. And I was playing Borderlands, and we need to play that. Me and you need to play some Left 4 Dead, and
Hmm. Yes.
I'm perfectly fine with the keyboard mouse and my fat ass on the couch. And
You
I'm
know,
happy
it's
with that.
funny when you talked about doing that. I did the same thing. I hooked up my PC to my TV, and I've been playing it a little bit. In fact, I didn't realize that they had officially released Minecraft for Windows 10, and I got it for free because I already had Minecraft on PC. and I'm moving over to that version because damn, it's nice. Like the rendering distance is ridiculous, and it's just really cool. And then I also on Xbox Live for my Xbox One, I had Killer Instinct Season 1. So I got it for free on PC also. And that game is beautiful. I was telling Eugene, I was like, it's amazing looking. Now, if you get it on PC though, I'll tell you guys, buy the Ultimate Edition because there's so many microtransactions in that damn game. Unless you buy it. It's horrible. I was like, it's like a mobile game with its damn microtransactions. Unless you buy this special edition or whatever.
But doesn't it seem like a huge jump? And I first saw it even on the 1080p monitor here. I was sitting there going, wow, because it's running so much better than the Xbox One. And I have like the first season. I don't have a lot. I go back and play it every so often, and it just I can't. I need to plug in a controller and play it on the TV and see how it looks.
It looks really good. Like, I'm playing in 1080p also because 4K is, I mean, come on, you don't really need 4K for most gaming. I mean, I play at 1080p just to get better performance, and it looks beautiful. It looks way better than it did on Xbox One. So, now here's another bit of news that came out, and I saw this today. Okay, looks like Red Dead Redemption 2 is being delayed until spring of 2018. So, did you expect that, or?
I'm not. I got the first one and it was okay. I just never got into it. I see why a lot of people love it. It's just kind of like a classic. A lot of people love, but I didn't really see that unless they're really trying to utilize a Scorpio.
Oh yeah, well that's possible, right?
Maybe they came out and go, "Holy shit, let's just push this off." And the Scorpio will be, and maybe they're shaking the hands back behind there. And the definitive edition will be the Scorpio at some high 4K and everything else. But
maybe
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it just could be they're nitpicky. They take a lot of time on their GTA games and they release them when they're done. So it may not have nothing to do with Scorpio.
Yeah, it may not. I know. You know, Nintendo has obviously proved that the spring can be a very successful time period if you want to launch something big, because you get out of the way of all those fall things, you know. And fall is very competitive, you know. All the new hardware and new games and everything's fighting. And then if you can do a big title, it has to be a title people are like already anticipating and excited about and everything. So Red Dead Redemption 2 might do really well in the spring. That's probably a good idea.
Well, I mean, I still say this, and it's not really, I still think the Scorpio, being at Christmas with the Switch already out and doing so well, sold out everywhere. They said 2.7 million in the first month, 280,000 in U.S. in April. That wasn't including Canada, South America, Central America, and Europe. Probably close to another million in April. The Switch is selling, and when it comes out, you're going to have Mario, plus Zelda, plus Splatoon 2, plus ARMS, plus Mario Kart. Everybody can go out and play, and it's going to be $300, and not including Black Friday discounts. Microsoft better make that damn thing very appealing. It's going to be a big battle. So.
I didn't put this on the notes, but did you hear there's this rumor that there may be a Call of Duty coming to the Switch?
I've heard that. I've heard rumors that it's either a Battlefield or a Call of Duty. And if that happens, holy crap, that's going to make Nintendo have to get 10 more sweatshops. I'm sorry, I know I say like that. Because they're going to have to make Switches. Everybody's like, wait a minute, I can play Call of Duty on the crapper, or I can walk around the house and play Call of Duty and multiplayer it with the Wi-Fi. I mean, that would be awesome. I don't play Call of Duty, but for the people who play it, wow.
Yeah. It would be interesting. It would be interesting to see what a completely portable version, because I think they had a Call of Duty on the Vita that they did, but it was kind of like a handicapped version of Black Ops or something.
Mm-hmm.
But to see, I mean, the only real first-person shooter I've seen on a portable is that Killzone Mercenaries. And
it looked good on the Vita because it was designed for it.
But the
Switch is so much more powerful.
Right.
So if they went and did an Unreal 4 engine with Vulkan and did it from scratch, it'll look gorgeous. It'll be a
Yeah,
1080p docked and probably and a 720p handheld. It could be a 60 FPS shooter.
that would be that would be legit, man. That would be really cool.
I might actually play one of them just to say I play. Just to support the Switch.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Um, okay, this is kind of diverging to something else here. So I don't know how you feel about, because I don't think we've ever really talked about. It's hard to find a good movie based on video games. Okay, there's been a lot of attempts done, and the Resident Evil series has gone several movies. It's kind of, I mean, it petered out, and then it kept going and going, and it was like a zombie itself for a while there. And I guess they finally have decided that's it, and they're going to reboot and start over with a new Resident Evil movie. So here's my question to you: what if there was to be a good Resident Evil movie? What would it have to be like? What would you like to see in a good Resident Evil movie?
Well, shockingly enough, I like the Resident Evil series, except the one there in the desert. That movie was a flaming pile of shit. I like Mila Jovovich. She's gorgeous. She's my favorite actress. I like the series, even though it's a little campy because they did something, and that I guess everybody hated. They went on their own story tangent. I like
Right.
them.
Okay.
I have every one of them. But I'm talking about, you're right. The one that could truly grab people, Resident Evil. I say put it in. Maybe even just start straight in Raccoon City. Give it a big George Romero feel of a huge outbreak, and just make it, over the top action. Well, not over the top action, but make it just crazy with good actors and actresses. Don't make it hokey. I mean, there's I know I watch the hokiness in it to where they over top it, but sometimes it's that those special effects and the technology they use in the Resident Evil movies were good,
Yeah.
but just make it about the horror, make it about the zombies and about the destruction, and
What
you
if
get the good crew, it'll work.
Let me ask you this: what if instead of trying to do like an action movie like the other Resident Evil movies, you do the first game and it's like this creepy horror, like just very few actors in the movie, like a lot of like I'm trying to think what's that Stephen King movie, The Shining,
Right.
like
Pretty much
that.
put it in that. Pretty much start out outskirts, go to the mansion, put the main characters in there, and make it about the just. Yeah, well, that would work too. I mean, they
Yeah.
kind of did that in the first movie, which some people liked the first movie pretty good, but they went with the Hive and the Red Queen, and they kind of went off and on. But it's just like a mansion, and pretty much just a little bit of a lab in there, and they're.
Yeah, where like you reveal the story. Like remember the first Resident Evil, you didn't know, like when you started that game, you didn't know Wesker who he was, and you didn't know there was, like, you thought this was a mansion, and then it turns out, oh, there's this huge underground bunker and all this shit, and you know it's not just zombies, it's these creatures, and it's like you slowly work into that world. That could work, I think, like a real, like, tense kind of horror movie with like
Yeah.
zombies. Not a lot of, maybe you do, I don't know, maybe you don't do a lot of zombies, maybe it's just a few zombies, but they're like,
Hmm.
I don't know, it could be
Have you
interesting.
have you played the Resident Evil 7 demo?
No, I haven't. I need to
Oh,
play that.
that one is kind of like completely weird and different. That if you made it like that, I think you're thinking of kind of like that. Maybe a little bit of action to it because the stars team, they got to be military like. Play that demo if you haven't played it. I
I should
think
do that. Yeah.
if they play that, it's very short, but it was good. I
Yeah,
just
I
didn't
need to
get
do that.
into it.
Yeah, I understand. And speaking of not getting into it, I've been curious. I saw you did a video. I think you brought it out today, where you were talking about this news about Nintendo possibly releasing a mobile version of Zelda on
Hmm.
phones and tablets and stuff. And Nintendo's had this mobile campaign that they've been doing where they say they're going to release a few games every year, and they're going to be different kinds of mobile specific games. They're not like uh
Hmm.
they're not like, it's not like the console version that just runs on mobile. It's like a different, like Mario Run
Mhm.
was, or that what was that Fire Emblem or something that they did.
Yeah, I think they did that. I never played that one, but Mario Run just was a disappointment. That was just a cash in on a running game, and that's
Yeah.
what I hope they don't do for Zelda.
So yeah, what would they do? What would a mobile Zelda even be? I mean, would it be just like point and click kind of like you move them
Dungeon
around,
crawling.
or
I'm thinking dungeon crawling at its basics, and maybe kind of doing some reaction and swiping. And I don't know. I don't. I hope they don't make it bad. But I don't. I just don't really. They could do it right, I guess, if they focus on the dungeons. And but I
yeah, I
just
don't know.
don't feel after seeing Breath of the Wild. Even all those games, even the first game on NES, just putting that on a swiping and stuff like that, it'd be pain. I mean, Zelda just doesn't seem to cry out mobile.
Yeah,
So we'll see what they're going to do. They're supposed to be coming out this year, so they got to be pretty close, if not a good way through development. So it's not an idea; it's being made.
I have a feeling it's not going to be like any regular Zelda. It's going to be some other thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to look at it and go, "Oh my God," and roll our eyes and move on or something like that.
We probably will. I mean, after Breath of the Wild, our expectations for Zelda have kind of reached a different level. It's kind of hard to imagine it. I can't even think.
I can imagine the next one just being made for the Switch and them going straight to Unreal, using all the Switch's power.
Oh yeah,
Everybody harps on it. It was a Wii U port. It's not optimized. They optimize it for that Nvidia. That's going to be amazing.
yeah, yeah. The Switch is definitely more powerful than what we've seen so far. Which we're gonna. I think Mario will be a good indicator of where things are going once we have that. Well, I think it's time to dive into our thoughts about the upcoming E3 show. So, the Electronics Entertainment Expo is kicking off. It looks like June the 10th. And there's going to be a lot of different presentations made. A lot of different companies are rolling out different things. And we want to kind of go through it. Real quick, I'm just going to give you a rundown of some of the big presenters and what they're doing. So Nintendo's not doing a real thing. Okay, Nintendo's doing their own uh,
Correct.
their own direct, which is probably for the best, right? After
I want them on the stage. I would love them to be on the stage, but that's
only,
just me.
only if it's Reggie, only if it's Reggie. That's
Yeah, but I just saw today where somebody was posting that they found evidence that it could be an hour long, at least. I'm
an
like,
hour.
better
Wow,
be, better be. It needs to be an hour long. So I just wanted to tell you that as you're talking. I saw that today.
that would be cool. And that's actually happening on the when is that happening? Nintendo 90. I don't have the date on that.
I haven't seen the date, all the dates yet. I haven't
Oh,
really got.
that's on the 13th. That's on the 13th. Okay, but okay. So starting off, Electronic Arts is going to be presenting on the 10th, Saturday the 10th. It looks like at 12 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 3 p.m. Eastern. So, what's Electronic? What are they going to show? EA, what do they have?
It's Battlefield and stuff, right?
Stuff like that. Oh, Battlefront. Battlefront.
Battlefront. I mean Battlefront, and then sports. EA Sports are probably going to show Madden off.
Oh, yeah.
Which it got it now. Said that I didn't see a Switch version.
Yeah, and it's funny.
And FIFA's coming on it. What the? I'm hoping they get to there and they go, "Oh yeah, we're coming on the Switch." I hope a bunch of people say, "And coming on the Switch," and coming on the Switch.
Yeah, that would be, dude. Madden on the Switch would be that'd be great. I'm definitely get it on the Switch. That would be awesome. Yeah, they did a Madden on Vita. I mean, they only did one on Vita, but if they did that, I mean, maybe hopefully they're not like, oh, we tried that and it mobile. Yeah, we're not. Hopefully.
Well, the Switch is good. The Vita is not. But I mean, you're actually got a full screen. You got a TV presentation of Madden and a handheld, so people could go out and get together and ad hoc. Remember, up to 8 players, the Nintendo Switch, and they could actually have games or share the Joy-Con, and play
I,
football. I mean, come
yeah,
on,
I think
EA,
it'd be
what are
great.
you doing?
Yeah, I think it'd be
I'm
great.
hoping they're holding out and going to show it. Oh yeah, we got a Switch version.
It just seems like it'd be perfect for Switch. You know?
Well, look, NBA and FIFA, both
Yeah,
NBA and FIFA are coming on there. So where's Madden?
I agree. I agree.
Fucking
Okay,
asshole.
so then looks like on the 11th, we're gonna get Microsoft. Okay, and they're gonna do theirs at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. That obviously is gonna be Scorpio,
Get
and
over here.
so that's gonna. This is the big thing. This is the big moment for Microsoft, right? This is make or break time. This is, are we going to succeed? Is Xbox going to continue? Are we? Is this going to work? Or is, I mean, Scorpio? There's so
What
much
day?
riding.
What day is Microsoft's again? Is it on a weekend?
Sunday.
Good. I'll actually have the time. I'll probably crank it up on one of the consoles.
Yeah.
With surround sound set there over the laptop, maybe tweet out going, "Oh dear God, what have they done?" Or, "Hey, that's kind of interesting." I still not going to buy it. I mean, PC hooked up to a TV kind of trumps console. I mean, but if you don't have that, buy a console, buy the best console, the one you like the most. But I would just sit there and look. I hear your cat in there. You got a cat in the background there meowing.
I do.
I can hear that every so often. I hear. But I mean, they've got to come out and knock my socks off to be kind of impressed. And again, I don't have Xbox Live or PS Plus anymore because I do on the PC or the Switch. So,
Yeah.
but for people that are into consoles and thinking, okay, maybe I want to upgrade, I hope it's what people are looking for. I really do.
Man, I
The
honestly.
price point can't be
Oh,
$500. If it's $500, I am going to laugh off the couch. I may even fall off the couch.
okay. So price means everything. Okay, it means everything because this is a three-way race now. Okay, it's PlayStation. Nintendo has brought their A game. Okay.
Different. It's a different thing, but there's a lot of multiplats already starting to come out for it.
Yeah.
You know,
So Scorpio, man, there's so much riding here, and it's not just Scorpio. Okay,
Mhm.
Microsoft has to reestablish themselves as a legitimate first-party developer because right now, public confidence in their ability to maintain the interest of the public with their own first-party titles is waning. Like people are seriously looking at Microsoft like, do you guys even like know how to make games? Like, do you even game, bro? Or what? You know what
well, Alien Technology said with no exclusives, how can Scorpio be any better wise than the Xbox One? I said because Phil said so. I just laugh at. I'm aggravating him in the chat room, but he's right. I mean, Microsoft filed for the Scalebound patent again. This is the name.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does
They're
that
either
mean?
they're either going to be dicks and hold on to it so Sony can't use it. They're going to continue on with the game, or they're going to restart it. I think they're number one. They're like, I don't want anybody else to fucking have it. Fuck you. We're refiling, so
Yeah.
nobody can have it. But then again, would it be so good to they say we're continuing it, and there'll be a Scorpio version and their Xbox One version. I will, and hopefully a Windows version. I'll buy that on the Windows
They
PC.
fired
I'll be
that.
like,
Didn't they fire that team though? I mean, it would have
I
to
don't.
be. It would have to be a whole nother team developing it.
I guess I don't. I'm really thinking it's just they just did it to keep it. I really do. That's probably what it is.
I have no confidence in Microsoft right now. I don't. I don't. I honestly, I'm very pessimistic about the Scorpio. I've been trying to give them a chance, but here's the deal, man. Here we are. E3 is about to happen, and all I've seen is hardware that's a little better than the PS4 Pro, regardless of this spin that they try to put on it. It's a little bit better. It's not like, oh my god, it's so much better. It's not. It's a little bit better than the Pro.
Yeah.
Is that even going to matter? Because when the developers are producing their games, they got to look at where the money is. They got to say, I'm making a game and I want to sell this game. Am I going to pay all this attention to the Scorpio version when, first of
Mhm.
all, it's a new format? How many people even have it? And second of all, the entire Xbox like fan base is very small comparative to the PlayStation. So
Yeah,
it seems to me.
I don't know. Did he not get up to 30 million?
Oh, the PlayStation.
Xbox. No, PlayStation passed 60. How many Xbox
Yeah,
Ones were
it
sold?
might be. It might be. I think it's about half. I think you're right. But that's for the whole Xbox One community. Okay. And now you're going to add in Scorpio, which is just launching now. Okay. And PS4 Pro will have been around for a year when this thing hits. So, to me, if they're going to shoot for a higher target, if they even do, it's going to be PS4 Pro level. Okay?
Hmm.
I just don't understand why you even tried to go higher than PS4 Pro as far as specs, because how much of that's even really going to get utilized? Yeah, you could do it with your first party, but where's your first party? So,
Down at the liquor store trying to get booze for that first party, and it ain't happening.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have faith that people even want the Scorpio. Um, I don't know, man. I just don't, and then if it ends up costing $500, which a lot of people say it probably is,
Well,
then
even a Digital Foundry said that on that IGN, they heard murmurs. They went to Microsoft.
and
And
you
I looked at
know,
that, and I texted you. I was like, "Oh my God, they're dead. They're going,
right,
or they're so
right,
stupid."
and you know the pros price is coming down, and that we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm just saying, look, I want this to be a strong three-way race. I want Microsoft to get their shit together and release some badass games and give me a reason to care about Xbox. I want that to happen. But I just don't. I don't know, man. I'm very pessimistic about it.
Well,
They got a,
VG chart shows 29 million, and they're off because they're off from their the Switch. They're lower than that, so it's a little over 30 million, not about half,
yeah,
and that's not good. They've never came back from that 2013 clusterfuck of just failure. When I was just sitting there losing my shit that day, going, "They're dead! Oh my God, I'm going to have to get a PlayStation." And that's and like Ryan said in chat, Xbox changed direction so many times since launch. The one direction they should have taken is the same one as the 360 and PS4 games. He's right.
yeah,
We want your TV over here. We want your Connect. We want you to talk to our systems. We want you to love our systems and tell it it's pretty. And why don't you you boot up I have to get the PS4. It was about games from day one, and they have sold pretty much twice as much.
Alien Technology. You are absolutely correct when you bring up 3DO. I get this strong 3DO vibe from Scorpio. Like it feels like a 3DO to me. Like oh yeah, it's way more powerful, but it's also way more expensive, and there's really not games. I totally get a 3DO
You know,
vibe from that.
when you were talking about like what developers are going to do, they're going to look at the games now. If you go on, and I was going to make a video, and it's just some rant sometimes I don't think I need to make, but they showed Injustice 2, PS4 versus PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I see the difference.
I couldn't see a difference. When the Scorpio comes out, developers are going to make the versions they run on the lower ones, and even though the PS4 has been better, the games aren't got that gap anymore because it costs development time. So they'll make the one that works on the other two just fine. Then they'll look at the Pro and the Scorpio and go, "Yeah, we'll pick the Pro. It'll work, and then we'll tweak it up just a little bit, maybe for a bell or whistle here or not." The only time that 6 teraflops and all those floppity flop flops that Microsoft's putting in there and all that 12 gigs of memory is when they put something out. Halo, that's probably going to be designed. Look at this. We got Halo at 4K 60, and it's got 6 teraflops. Master Chief's got 6 floppers coming out there. I mean, it's going to look intensely gorgeous, a game, and maybe Crackdown. Well, oh, wait a minute. They can't even release that game. Never mind. I mean, it's extra fluff. You're right. If they'd went for like 4.5, 4.7, just a little bit around there, 8 or 9 gigs of memory, kept all the 4K goodness from their Xbox One S, then they would have had a good race.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't.
Yeah, Alien Tech's right. Your developer look at the PS4, the base, and the PS4 has 60 million units. What is it? The PS4 Pro's like not even a million. Did we ever get numbers?
We haven't gotten official numbers. Sony doesn't want to talk about it. Honestly, I think that has everything to do with this. Okay, like Injustice 2, they look the same. You're going to see this. I honestly think. I don't think. I think this is. I think Microsoft is about to get into a party that nobody's coming to anymore. I honestly feel like this whole thing about we've got to have this mid-cycle thing was over before it started. It's just like
how many times did you and I say that? I just lost my shit last year. I saw an article from January. PS4 Pro sales reportedly 238,000 units and Christmas last Christmas. I don't even think they got a million. Maybe so maybe they have a million. Okay, so they have 2 million. 58 million people with slims or normal PS4s versus 2 million, most maybe a million of PS4 Pros. Developers aren't going to give a shit about the Pro technology. That's why everything looks the same. And then you have, like you're right. Come get the Scorpio. We have half the installer base and twice as much of the Scorpio, and it's going to flop if they don't watch it. And then it's just going to be like, even if think about this.
Yeah.
Even if every Xbox One person got a Pro, or excuse me, a Scorpio is flipped, there's still twice as many PS4s.
Yeah.
Games are always going to be developed for the PS4 because they're going to make twice as much money.
Well, let me ask you
this. Or potentially twice as much money.
Let me ask you this. I want to get your opinion about this. So, if you pay attention to any of the online chatter, the Twitter stuff that goes back and forth, the PlayStation fans, super fans, and the Xbox super fans, they have this ongoing thing that, you know how this is.
Yeah, they guessing on us.
Right. And there's been all this, like, I guess the current controversy, if you want to call it a controversy, I don't know if that's the right word, but the current bullshit that goes back and forth is one of them used to say graphics really matter, and now the other one is saying graphics matter, like, because Microsoft, because they're going to have the Scorpio, so they're like, oh, well, see, graphics are, there's like this whole thing. So here's my question to you. The Xbox fans, super fans, the core base of Microsoft's,
they call it Xbox.
Oh, okay, we'll just call them Xbox.
That's
they seem to be they seem to have bought into the idea that Scorpio is going to make all the games look better that are already out and be way better than the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and even be able to contend with like high level PCs and stuff like that. They have super high expectations. So here's my question. If these games end up having basic parity, sort of like what we've seen with PlayStation 4 and Pro, and they start looking very similar to that as far as, they're probably going to look better than the regular Xbox, but not really any better than PS4 and PS4 Pro. Like, if we start to see it's basically the same, can Xbox survive a backlash from its core user base who are committed to this idea and would suffer that kind of disappointment?
I don't think so. I mean, look at the PS4 Pro. It's not a failure, but it don't seem like it's a success. If they had to cut it, they probably have 59 million. I'm thinking realistically 59 million or more real users out there, and they're still selling because they're the good console. You have half of the consoles out. You want to make the most powerful, most expensive, rumored around $500, and you still can't get the exclusives. And developers are not many developers are going to take advantage of it. Microsoft could just have second themselves.
Oh my God!
I mean, they could have. And I think Alien Tech, the Pro is going to be $299 at Xbox. I don't think it's going to be $299. I think it's going to be $349. Well, the PS4, if they drop the PS4 to $199, oh my God, it would be like two. I mean, yes, everybody would be like, well, who needs a Switch? No, the Switch is a different tech. It's new, and it took and it's portable. You can't take the PS4 with you. But if they drop that down to $199,
well, let's talk about let's talk about Sony. So they're going to do their show on Tuesday. They're going to wait Microsoft goes Sunday, right? So Sony's skipping a day. They're skipping Monday, and they're going to do theirs Tuesday. All right, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, it's going to be. I
get to watch that after work.
Good. Yeah, it'll be a primetime show for everybody. a full day after Microsoft. Does this sound familiar? Microsoft.
They'll redo their prices.
Remember 2013? Remember what happened with the Xbox One launch with the PS4? This is the exact same scenario, okay? Microsoft is going to show off hardware. They're going to show off their Scorpio. They're going to give a price. They're going to give you all this information. Sony's going to give their team an entire day to figure out their response. And then Tuesday, we're going to see, and I think you're right, I think there's going to be a price reduction on both PS4 and PS4 Pro. Mm-hmm. And there's this other possibility that we had talked about, which is there's a very strong rumor, and I don't know that it's true, but there is a strong rumor going around that Sony might be showing off what they're calling, codename, PSP3, a PlayStation Portable that works in a similar way to as the Nintendo Switch does, where it's a portable system that you can dock and then play at home. Would it be a portable PlayStation 4 that plays PlayStation 4 titles or digital titles? Or is it another format? I don't know. But this is something that's being thrown around. I guess there's pretty strong evidence that Sony has some new hardware they're going to be debuting.
Maybe, here's an idea. Wonder if they just collapse everything into one model and call it the PS4 Complete, PS4 Premier, and they just say, did you remember that last year that people kept telling us there were two versions of the Pro?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
What about that?
I don't know, man. The Pro, here's my thing about the Pro. The Pro hasn't had an enormous amount of success.
Sorry, okay? The jet. I swear I heard something. There's a jet flying over. I was just making sure, because
I thought you were being swatted for a second. I'm like, I need to look out the window
too. Swatted me, you son of a bitch!
God dang it!
Damn nut!
They're early. Okay, Alien, you bring up a good point. I don't know that Sony's going to do a PSP3. I find that hard to believe, because I agree with you. They abandoned the Vita. And when the PlayStation TV came out, they had no confidence in it whatsoever. And if you kind of think about it, the PlayStation TV was, if you combine it with a Vita, is basically the same general concept as a Switch, not done as well, obviously, not streamlined to work as one system. But I don't know, man. But this is the rumor that's going around, that Sony might be showing something like this with some kind of AMD APU that's similar to their mobile stuff. I don't know.
Why would they do that? They would instantly be called the biggest, worst copycats, and it's Sony. What do they have on it? Do they have a Zelda? Is God of War going to be on it? Well, not really. Okay, is a Battlefront or either those or Killzone? Well, not really. Then don't make it. Go home.
I'm not disagreeing with this. I'm not. I agree with you 100% that if they did this, all it would do is bolster Nintendo, because it would really make Nintendo look like the trendsetter if Sony did this.
Well, Sony copied them with the Move and the Wiimotes, and the Moves didn't do really worth a shit.
You're right. History tells us that it's possible that Sony might do that.
I wonder if they actually come out. So, Alien Tech just said this: stick with the PS4 and PS4. What if they're sitting there and they go, you know what? We gave you the PS4 Pro to bridge the gap into 4K. It didn't do so well. Coming next year, PS5, and everybody just goes, what? 8-9 teraflops of power, 16 gigs of RAM, and Microsoft goes we're all and here's Sony going,
well, see,
and then they go, and if they said this, all PS4 games work on it, backwards compatibility, they would end up next year selling tens of millions of these things, and Microsoft's like,
well, there is that rumor that the PlayStation 5 is coming in 2018. Right? And I don't know.
I made fun of it in a video. Now I'm thinking about it. It might work if they just ditch that Pro and said, you know what, bad choice, push it off to the side.
Well, they've been done it before. They did it with PlayStation TV. I mean, it's not, again, history tells us these things are not out of the realm of possibility. Okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
Sony does good hits. Which the 4 is a hit and the Pro is a miss. They just say, you know what, we learned and even if they should come out there, I would be a dick. We congratulate Microsoft their new outing. I think they did that the way they did that. Say it looks good and go. We are going to go full force into that. We are discontinuing the Pro. Your Pros will still work. You'll still get extra abilities. I don't know. I doubt this. And they go, PS5 is coming this time next year. It has all this, and I think Microsoft will just drop a shit brick if they did that. That is more plausible of a new piece of hardware than the PSP3. The PSP3 is suicide.
I don't even know, man. Like the concept seems so strange to me that I can't even really process it. Like I don't know. I doubt that it would even happen. But you know what? It's worth talking about. You know, it's being thrown around, so it's worth talking about. I don't know, but again, okay. So we know that Microsoft's going to show Scorpio, but they're going to have to show some games, right? They're going to have to show some really good games.
Microsoft don't need games. Microsoft never needs games. I get you. They're going to show another Forza. They're going to show more Forza. I'm not making fun of you Forza fans.
TV.
I think Forza and racing is amazing. It's fun for people, but you can't live on racing games. Sorry.
Yeah. So Sony's going to show games too, and they're going to have a day to process what their show is going to be like. Change this and that and tweak this and that before they respond. They're going to have a whole day to figure that out. So to me. And watch the public reaction to what Microsoft has shown. So to me, I think Sony's going to absolutely focus on gaming, on the actual games, and we know we're going to see God of War, right? We're probably going to see, like you were talking about, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. I hope there's more information about that, and I hope they could even say there's still been a lot of rumors it might come to the Switch because 15 is on a custom engine. It's never coming to the Switch. No. But 7's running on Unreal. It'd be badass if they finally said that. And also, Kingdom Hearts 3 should be shown.
Kingdom Hearts 3, yep. Yeah, they're going to be Spider-Man 4. We know that there's a bunch. Battlefront 2, obviously, I think they have a deal with EA to do like timed exclusivity on a bunch of stuff. The new Call of Duty, you know.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed set in Egypt. I don't really care for Assassin's Creed, but it was also rumored that the new Assassin's Creed made by Ubisoft, they even said they're going to go full force in supporting the Switch. Maybe Assassin's Creed comes to the Switch.
That's possible.
That'll work.
Yeah,
it's not a game that really needed to push the technology. I mean, it can look nice, and it's just The Crew 2, I never was into the first one. Far Cry 5 would be something else.
Yeah, and they're saying Far Cry 5 is going to be set in America. It's not going to be abroad. That'll be interesting.
And then we got to talk about Nintendo. What all are we going to see from Nintendo?
Yeah. So, okay, we've got our hardware, so that's out of the way. This is all about games with Nintendo, right? We know we're going to see a shit ton about Splatoon because they're going to be pushing Splatoon. We know we're going to see a shit ton about Mario.
Mario is actually the center stage of this one. This is like Zelda of last year.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. They're going to have it on display. People could probably play Mario. It's going to be, because we all know this Christmas, Mario is going to fucking dominate. We know that's going to happen.
It's going to sell Switches like Gamebuster, and I make fun of I use the sweatshop joke. I'm not trying to make fun. Really, I'm just having fun. They better have a few million Switches for this Christmas, because then people can buy Zelda. They can play Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, ARMS. Some of the third-party stuff like Skyrim should be out by then. The EA games we're talking about will be out. I mean, it's going to be a full lineup, not including all the digital shit that's out there.
Yeah.
The Switch is going to be a powerhouse.
This This is the real launch for Switch.
And the 2 points we've been talking about. One big, they're online. It's got to be ready by then. All the features. It may be that elusive, crazy thing we've been wanting to hear. Virtual console.
we have to hear about Virtual Console at E3. I think we've waited this long. We should hear something. They should give us something.
I'm fed up. There's something out there, Spock.
Now here's another. Do you think there's a possibility we might hear about the Super Nintendo Mini, the Super NES Mini? You think that's possible?
Yeah, maybe. Nintendo could go fuck themselves the way they handled the last one.
Don't act so excited, Pickle Gamer.
We have no resources to continue putting this little piece of shit box with a little dinky motherboard. We can't do it.
Yeah.
They showed me right there. They're just being dicks about it. I'm like, you know what? Go to epicageeky.com. Look at how you can make your own Super NES and print it with the pies. Go to Retro Bro. He's on YouTube. He sells his own. He sells complete retro pies. He'll make you one. Order for somebody and just do a retro pie and tell Nintendo to go fuck themselves. And then you can play any game you want on it.
I just want my Virtual Console. I just want that. Just
give
me.
Yeah. Contra, Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, Turtles in Time, Final Fight 2 and 3, all those games, and all the old Mario Karts. Everything is online. I made a video about this and somebody said, no, it's not. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You didn't even read the main website. It says online.
Right.
All
no, it says
Nintendo
that.
Games and Nintendo and possibly Nintendo 64 online. Holy shit.
Plus,
GoldenEye online.
I don't know if we're going to get GoldenEye. That's...
no, that's right. Somebody actually corrected me. They can't. The publishing rights from James Bond is all fucked. Never mind. But Mario Kart, yeah.
What about those GameCube games we kept hearing about? They might have those GameCube Virtual Consoles.
I hope. I'd love to see somehow them re-release. What about they just re-release the Wii games? What about Mario Galaxy re-release?
Dude, they put them on Wii U. They re-released them on Wii U. Bring them out. Let's do it. Hell yeah. I mean, you've got full support for it. You got the motion controls and everything built into the Switch. They
should be able. They may even take it to where they can release a sensor bar, because you can flip that Joy-Con around with that infrared. I still think it'll work. Yeah. Give me that, definitely. Just give me that, and then you can have another ability to use. For some of them, you don't even have to have the thing like that. So.
Right. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot possibly coming out here at E3. We know we're going to see this, this hardware from Microsoft. We could be seeing hardware from Sony. We're definitely seeing a lot of games from Sony. They're going to be pushing that hard and probably going to be announcing price reductions for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. Do you think VR is going to show up? I don't know, man. I mean, what do you think?
For Nintendo?
No. Well, maybe. There's been that rumor, too, that Nintendo has this VR option that they've been talking about. I mean...
Yeah. I mean, we've got to see them. Also, people are asking about in the chat room about their chat. Like, what about the Nintendo chat? What about the rooms? What about the everything? It's supposed to be a mobile app. Okay, they pushed it to summer. Guess what? June's running in the summer.
It seems like it would be a good opportunity to announce something at E3 about their mobile, about their multiplayer. It seems like this would be the time to do it. To at least start mentioning like what the plan is. roll
it out and then say in the next month we're going to roll out a few these. You can free to play because everybody's testing Super Nintendo and Nintendo games to try the online, and then the next month we'll roll out finally the app. Well, no, the app in summer, and then they push it toward this fall. We're going to have to start paying. We don't even know the pay scale. We heard it was like $25, $30.
What are we buying? What are we paying?
What are we buying?
Yeah.
Do we have cloud saves? Can we move our saves to a fucking SD card? Can we do anything? Move our screenshots to off of our... Come on, Nintendo. You've done a lot. You've done good, but Sony's OS on the PS4 was basic as shit.
Yeah.
They finally took some time. And everybody's making fun of them on Reddit. Every time they patch the Switch, it's stability. I'm like, my God, that's what Sony did forever. Stability and come on.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Nintendo announced a delay in the multiplayer, in their multiplayer scheme. that they need more time to get it polished and figured out. I wouldn't be surprised because it just seems like we're not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could announce a whole bunch of shit at E3. That's possible. You know, they have surprised us before. So, but it just seems like, man, we haven't heard anything. We haven't seen anything. I don't know.
I mean, they're talking about VR. They don't. Nothing looks like good VR for Sony. I mean, I saw them in Walmart now, and they dropped the price of VR to $399. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's not selling.
Well, honestly, man, it's not viable.
It's not here yet.
Well, nobody's going to sit there and play nothing but VR. VR is like something you do once in a while. You're not going to sit there and just do nothing but VR.
I think Nintendo would make VR right. They're probably the only ones that would do it. And when they do it,
I mean, if it's cheap, right? If it's cheap.
Well, if it's the Switch 2 or something later on, it's doable, and they just sell you an extra headset that has some power. You slip it in there, you pull the new Joy-Con 2.0 or whatever off, and have all these features. It'd be perfect.
Okay, now here's something out of left field. I didn't put this in the notes, sorry. What about Sega? We're hearing all these rumors that Sega's going to be renewing their old IPs.
Yeah, I saw part of RGT. I didn't finish his video. I got to finish it. RGT85 did a whole video. He said that Sega's changed their file for a slogan, Amazing Sega. Yeah. That's their new, and I think Sega's about ready to come out. They're not going to come out with hardware. I know when people go, oh, hardware. I'm like, no.
Well, there is hardware. There is that HDMI Genesis that's coming out.
Yeah, that's made by somebody else.
At Games. It's licensed by Sega. Yeah.
If Sega came out, Sega themselves and dropped in a Sega CD 32X Genesis device and sold it for like $120, $130, and like bring all your old games and we'll preload some stuff for you. Shit,
Can you imagine if Sega started putting out Genesis games again? Like, just like Genesis cartridges? Like, what would that be? What would that be like?
Twilight Zone? Yeah. It'd be kind of weird, though. Hey, Genesis games are good. Boom.
I'm like, I don't know. That sounds actually kind of cool. You know? How much could you push this Genesis hardware? Like, if you really wanted to. I don't know. I find that interesting.
Because people broke that hardware apart and could do all types of stuff with it, and
yeah,
I don't know,
dude. The Sega CD with the 32X, God, there's a ton of hardware in there if you think about it. Because the Sega CD had multiple processors and its own sound processor. The 32X had two 15 megahertz processors in there, and it was all working with the Genesis stuff, which even still had the Master System processor in there. The Z80 is still in there. There's a ton of hardware if you could figure out how to get all that shit working. But so the Saturn had all the fucking shit ton of hardware in it too, and nobody could figure it out. They were just like,
that's what the problem. They had such horrible hardware, horribly configured hardware that nobody could program for the Saturn.
Yeah. But that was the beautiful thing about the Dreamcast, was it was streamlined. That shit was like so easy to make games on. It even had Windows CE on it, and people could put out games without even it was relatively easy to program for. The hardware was killer, and then fucking Sega just.
They waited too long. They waited too long and made a whippy system. They didn't even have DVD on it. If they had really put even the high-end stuff, I think I was reading, they wanted to put more into it and put a DVD player in it.
Oh,
they would have been competing.
Alien's got a good point. They should just re-release those Saturn games nobody got to play as downloads. Why, dude? I used to have Panzer Dragoon Saga, and I sold it because I got a ridiculous amount of money for it. But wouldn't it be great if you could get those games you can't buy, that are you're right, the Sega official games, but then there were some other ones too. But yeah, the Shining Force games and the Panzer Dragon games and the all the different ones that were out on the Saturn or the Dreamcast. Sega's got some great IPs that they haven't used in a long time.
And they just need to get out there and do something. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're just going to reinvent all this stuff and dump it on systems and the Switch. The other out there, I mean, nothing. They may just try to make something that doesn't break. Uses an amount of hardware that's ridiculous and just says, "Here we go, multiplat everywhere," and then everybody
Yeah.
gets it. Redoes even more Sonics. Maybe they'll do. I just don't. All the time. Maybe they'll do a Golden Axe, and maybe they'll do. Who cares?
Dude, Daytona, fucking Sega Rally, Virtua Fighter, fucking Virtua Cop. A Virtua Cop on the Switch where you use the Wiimotes like guns or something. That'd be fucking cool.
I was sitting there a little bit before we got on here. The Lost World Jurassic Park was on. This kid was like, "Oh, this person does it. It was made '97. You don't even have Sega." I was like, "Oh, I'm so old. I gotta see a Sega reference." But Sega used to be up there with Nintendo.
Yeah, can you imagine like HD remasters of Genesis games? Okay, like with all like redone graphics like that are like super high fidelity. Like Sega license. Sega games they did, first party games. There's some badass fucking games they did on Genesis that you could put out. That a lot of people they haven't even had a chance to play. I think that would be awesome. There's a lot of potential, I think.
What about Dreamcast remasters? Put them on everything, but also on the Switch. Be able to play what was it?
Shenmue.
Shenmue, Soul Calibur on the go.
Yeah.
Be like, oh man, Code Veronica and all these other games, and that Sega football back in the day. That's actually a good football game, and
Crazy
all
Taxi.
that. Ready to Rumble.
Yeah. There's some good stuff that people could definitely get into. Man, I'm interested to see what Sega's gonna do. I'm really interested. Plus, I can't wait to play that Sonic game. What's that?
Sonic Mania.
Yeah, Sonic Mania. I cannot wait.
Yeah, some people said they're kind of disappointed. It's just remasters or redux of the old games. I'm like, well, but I'm kind of confused on Sonic Forces. Some of them they say it's a third person view and a side view. Which is it?
I don't know. Sonic Mania is not. It's a whole different thing. Sonic Mania is I've seen a whole bunch of game footage of that. That's a whole new game. That adds a bunch of new elements that weren't in any of the original Sonic games.
Yeah, maybe not.
Now, maybe the levels are based on old levels. Like, maybe they have a similar graphics or similar level layouts or something like that. But there's a bunch of new stuff that's not in the old Genesis games. I don't know. Uh-oh. He's writing a paragraph.
I'm talking to them. Talking about how stupid Sega was. I mean, they did a lot of stuff. Look at the gaming historian when he was real young and on his channel, really old. He did some stuff on the Dreamcast. It's still a good watch. There were internal power struggles between the United States, I think, and Japanese Sega, that the 32X and then the Saturn and all these just kept botching. And then they finally did something good with the Dreamcast. Too little, too late.
It's funny when you look back on the history of gaming, how badly a lot of these companies handled their business. Atari, same thing. You go back and look at that history, or the European companies. It's unbelievable. It was a different time. Smaller companies. They weren't like these big conglomerates like Sony and Microsoft and everybody is now. Nintendo wasn't, Nintendo was the biggest one of them. And, that's probably got a lot to do with the reason why Nintendo didn't make as many of those crazy mistakes. Although they did still do the Virtual Boy. don't forget
the Virtual Boy is a drunk conception.
It's still hard to understand what the fuck Nintendo was thinking with the Virtual Boy. Let's make a portable that's not portable, that only has 2 colors and will fuck up kids' eyes. Let's do it. Make that happen. Worldwide release. Maybe it's not a good idea.
I mean, it's got basically a stack of games this tall. It's a library you could hold in one hand. It's so sad. And nothing really used the 3D either. It's pretty bad. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so there's a lot obviously that's going to be happening at E3 with a lot of new games coming out that seem pretty cool, and of course some major hardware stuff, at least from Microsoft. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see what all's announced and see if we end up when we leave E3 feeling disappointed or feeling excited or feeling entertained at least by the drama. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of drama. I have a feeling that Twitter will be a great place to eat some popcorn.
There'll be some burning servers and burning tweets, and Reddit will be on fire, and Xbox fans will be like, "Fuck you, Sony! Fuck you! Look at the awesome shit!" They'll be like, "There's no game, you fat Xbox!" And then all the Nintendo fans are like, "Whatever." They're over here enjoying the games.
Oh, and the PC Master Race too. Yeah. Everybody's going to be, you know how it is. This is what we have to deal with as gamers, is this, the drama. The drama.
Everything's the drama.
Yeah. Plus, there's all this controversy about Destiny 2, and it's going to be on Battle.net, not on Steam, and it's going to be released later. They still haven't released a release date for the PC version, and people have different thoughts about that. Obviously, you see a lot of console fans.
Yeah, Ryan's saying TV's going to look fantastic on the Scorpio.
Will it be 4K or will it only be checkerboard 4K?
It's going to be 8K.
We don't have checkerboard 4K. We have chessboard 4K. Oh shit, chessboard 4K.
We have 3D chessboard 4K. Fuck you.
Battle Chess 4K. Remember Battle Chess?
Yes, that was actually good games.
I liked Battle Chess. Yeah, I had that on my old PC before I had a sound card, and it still had like audio that would come out of the PC speaker.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Good times. Battle Chess 4K. Anyway. All right. Well, guys, this has been a pretty good show, I think. Obviously, we got a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks, and we'll just have to see what happens. So, next weekend, we're doing Game Rambling. The next weekend, I'm going out of town. Keeping my fingers crossed everything works out. And we'll have to talk about what our plan's going to be, because I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing a show from there or here, or if we need to move it from Sunday to Monday or something. But we'll talk about that.
Also, this coming weekend is Memorial Day, so do we want to do something Memorial Day weekend? We can. I don't think I really have anything planned that Sunday.
For now, let's leave it Sunday
Just
for
leave
now.
It, yeah.
And if we need to change it, we'll let y'all know. Make sure to check us out on Twitter, at Cyrus Martin, and yours is at Pickle Gamer, right?
Yeah,
on Twitter.
PickYellGamer at Gmail.
Yeah, so we'll update there. So anyway, we'll be back with more stuff to talk about, and of course, I can't wait to see if more rumors start flying around about hardware that might or might not be coming, and some of these games.
We're gonna get some leaks. That's what's gonna be fun, because we got to the 10th, and when is Sony? Is it Microsoft shows off at the 10th?
Yeah, Microsoft goes first. On the 11th, Sunday.
Oh, okay. This coming Saturday, we'll have just over 2 weeks, so it will start flying. Stuff will start flying really, really heavy.
Yep.
So
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. All right, guys. Well, until episode 49, can you believe we're almost at episode 50? Holy crap!
I know we've been doing this a while.
Yeah. Until that happens, I'm Cyrus Martin.
And I'm PickYellGamer.
And we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.